All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lockdown with Thought Leaders. My name is Bryan Shue. Today I have Bruce Thompson, who's one of the great veteran leaders we have that's down in Jacksonville, Florida. So I want to welcome Bruce to the show today and thank you for taking your time out of your very busy schedule. I know I was trying to work with you on some times. You're just like, I have so many meetings because the veterans are reaching out to me. And Bruce, I wanted to turn it over to you. Thank you for your time and just kind of tell everybody that's going to be listening to this a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi, Brian. Well, first off, I really appreciate you working with my schedule and getting me on. It's not always the easiest, but hey, here we are. So I'm a retired Marine veteran. I retired 4 years ago. Since then, I have worked in the transition employment arena for military veterans and their spouses. And basically, what I do is I answer questions that they don't know how to ask. We all talk about we're going to transition and it's going to be no problem. And then we get into our phase and we find out that one, we don't know what transition means. And two, we just have no idea what questions to ask. So I was fortunate enough that I found some great programs when I was transitioning out of San Diego. And I soaked it up like a sponge. I listened to the people that knew what they were talking about, and I took my ego away and said, let's just learn what I need to know. And from that, I've enjoyed doing it for the last 3.5 years. I taught the Department of Labor a 3-day employment workshop for over 2 years, both Southern California and Southeast United States. I stopped doing that about a year ago so I could focus on doing more. So now I work Literati, LinkedIn, all the networking events, a little higher military, best industry recently came on board. So we're finding areas that I can do the most good for our service members, veterans, and their families to, improve on theirs. So I help them improve. They'll get back to the business. They'll help the next generation to improve. So it's all about that veterans helping veterans.
Great, and thank you so much for that. And I know a lot of people that'll be watching this are probably wondering, like, what does it mean to be a transitioning veteran? What does it mean to be in that transition space? Because when you're a civilian, you don't really go through a transition per se. You kind of do, but it's a little bit different. And could you speak on that? Like, what does it mean when somebody has a veteran that's speaking to them and say, "Hey, I'm transitioning." What does that look like, or what would that look like, and how would you explain that?
I guess one of the best ways to say it is you'll have someone who has been in college, they went from living with mom and dad to either staying with mom and dad or in a dorm room while they're in college. And all of a sudden, I have this knowledge, but I don't know how to apply it. I don't know. A lot is trying to figure out what exactly is that you want to do next, whether that's after college, after high school, after military service. And we did that. Some are in for 4 years, some are in for 30 plus. So you take somebody who has done the same thing for a decade to, possibly even 3. We learn from what the company, the organization that we're a part of. But then, if you were to be laid off, if you were to have a company go under and you find yourself unemployed, and you've been with a company for 5, 10 years, what do you do? How do you find that next opportunity? And, we know 5, 10 years, the world changes quickly. Just look what's happened in the last 30, 40 days.
And you bring up a really great point, Bruce, about that change that's been happening within the last 30 days. Excuse me. Ooh. I know a lot of people have been talking about, I've been laid off. I've been, my organization's cut jobs or my hours have been cut and I'm looking for a new role. What would you tell that person that's watching this and saying, hey, I'm in that boat of being laid off? What would you tell that person right now? How would they, what would be their, what, what would be a good way for them to figure out what to do next when it's so like this, I hate saying disorganized because it's not. It's just a different way of organization than we're used to. What would you tell that person?
So I tell them, one, there are plenty of companies that are still hiring. Uh, if you want to look at healthcare, you want to look at transportation, your grocery stores, you know, all these things are still happening. Your first responders, emergency services, it, it's not that there are no jobs out there. Yes, a lot of private businesses have shut down. Your entertainment, restaurant have really just closed up. You're not going to go and get a job at the mall or at too many retailers. But what you can come back and look at is possibly a complete reset for yourself. The chance for you to go and think internally about, what is your why? Why do you want to do a certain job? Maybe you've always been doing a job that you got started at when you were younger, and well, now it's been a while, and you're good at it, but it's not what drives you. Maybe you can look at what drives you. So in the next, 15, 30, 45 days, when we figure out what the new normal is going to be, you can go into a direction that you actually want to be in, not a direction that you kind of feel you have to be in.
And that's a great point, Bruce, because a lot of people have been like, I've been in this job and then all of a sudden I've been laid off, and now it's like now you get that free moment to reevaluate yourself. And this is, what have you been doing to kind of evaluate you and your professional self since we've been dealing with this lockdown or self-isolation, quarantine, social distancing type thing? What have you been doing in that regard?
I'm someone who attends a lot of networking events, workshops. Obviously, those are not happening. We're having more webinars, more Zoom meetings. So what I've done is I've opened my schedule up. So on veterani.com, which is a free mentorship space for veterans, it's a 1 hour phone call. I've opened myself up, and just the last couple of days, I've had I think about 8 different conversations. I had another one this morning, and my Wednesday, Thursday is wide open for the same next week. But it's talking to individuals who have been laid off, people that are getting out of the service, and all of a sudden, that plan just got blown up because all the jobs are gone. We're in this self isolation, social distancing. So talking with them, what we actually do is, how do you make yourself most competitive? While you're in this, is there an opportunity for you to use a program, USO Pathfinder, Onward Opportunity, and get some assistance, get some resume help, and they're all out there. And right now, we're kind of in overdrive. Is trying to help as many transitioning service members, veterans, their spouses, to be the best candidate they can be. Because I'm going to tell you, here in the next 15, 30, 45 days, when everybody opens back up, there's going to be a rush to get the best candidates in. And some companies who are like, we're going to bring everybody back, they're going to find out that some people aren't coming back. And it's going to give them critical roles to fill. So during this time, design that resume, really kind of target the industry or the company that you really want to be a part of, and start having conversations, make phone calls, get on informational interviews, and reach out. Because right now, I'll tell you, a lot of us, our schedule, we've opened it up. Instead of having to drive here and drive there, that time is being recouped. And we're spending it, trying to help those in need. So I think that would be kind of the best thing if you could finish a certification or LinkedIn Learning if you're a premium member. go knock out some classes. If not, I post things on my own LinkedIn page and talks about different opportunities. Take advantage of these. They're out there.
And what have you been doing um, to what as a way of networking during the social distancing? I know you mentioned webinars and virtual events on Zoom. What other stuff have you been doing to network with individuals? And what would you tell those that are watching this? Like, well, I'm always going to networking events. Well, now they're canceled. What should I do? And what would you tell that person?
Like, two of the easiest platforms to use is Facebook and LinkedIn. And I'm one that I have a Facebook account. I'll tell you, it's a business account. I can't remember the last time I posted something personal, but I post all kinds of jobs that I'm getting. I post them out there. Some are, Florida Pacific, but a lot of them are nationwide opportunities. And you can reach out to people that are active, on that site. LinkedIn, just log on, go through, find a conversation, post it. You're interested in, you want to know more, or it's in the same genre that you would like to be a part of. Make comments, respond to comments, reach out to those individuals that are, posting and responding. And it's simple. Hey, I saw you posted on XYZ. I find it really interesting, and it's something that I'd like to talk more about. You have time for a chatter, and something as simple as that opens up doors.
And I know it was a conversation point for me yesterday with an individual I had on here about relationships. And he was speaking about how, it is important to build those relationships, especially now when we're in this self-isolation, social distancing part, is that, when people are looking to hire, people hire because they like you. They don't hire you because of your resume. I mean, your resume, yes, does check that box, but in the end of the day, can they trust you? Do they like you? Do they know that you can actually be willing to do that work that they need done? So, and I know that's kind of a big topic for the veteran community in general. It's like we're so used to being in a hectic environment that this kind of situation we've been stuck into is kind of in our wheelhouse, because this is kind of what we've been doing our entire careers. How would you tell that veteran? It's like, how do I express that kind of knowledge base to a potential employer that may be looking to hire a veteran or just an individual in general that has this kind of experience? How would I be able to express that to them adequately that they may understand that and want to move forward with me?
So one of the most important things is we all come out and talk about, I've got 500 connections, I've got 1,000, I've got 15,000. You can be one of those rock stars out there. It's like I got 100,000 followers. A number's just a number, but if you really want to make that connection, like the two of us, we've been connected for probably a year plus, if not longer, and it's the back and forth. We share emails, we share posts, we say each other things or tag each other in things that we think would be of interest to us or our clients or our community. And you have to do that. You can't just say, oh, look, I connected with 30 people from a webinar last night. Guess what I did? And I sent every single individual a note. Hey, we're in the webinar last night. And then the ones that sent me and might have not sent a note, but I knew where they came from. I replied to them with, hey, it was a great webinar last night. Loved all the talk. So tell me, how I can be of assistance to you. And it's making a conversation. Again, you're not going to walk in there and hey, give me a job. Well, one, who the hell are you? No, it's one of those ones we've talked a little bit, we've gone back and forth, and now that we kind of know each other, and it's not going to be best friends, but it's going to be a professional awareness of each other, and we've had conversations. Now, if I make an ask me, would you introduce me to so and so? Hey, I know you work with ABC company and they have an opening. Uh, can I send you my resume to look over? Most people, once they met you or interacted some, are going to say yes. They might even come back and say, hey, here's some adjustments on your resume, or hey, I'm going to recommend you. And these are some of the things that you need to make sure you include in your resume, cover letter, and definitely talk to in your interview. So it's all that inside information that it all works if you develop a relationship. And again, you're not going to have a relationship with every single contact you have on Facebook, LinkedIn, a community club, but you have to have enough of them that people know who you are, when they see or hear your name. It's not okay, I got 15 Bruce Thompsons. Couldn't take any of them out of a hat. It's who do you know, how do you know? And again, 85% of the job market is all about who you know. You
Absolutely.
have to do the job, but you have to have people that know who you are.
And I think that's also a crucial point, even for our civilian counterparts, is realizing that the relationship aspect of the job market is so crucial nowadays. And again, it's not that you just can't walk into a company and say, hey, I want a job. It's like they're going to be like, great, you and 3,000 other people want that job too. But it's that whole, do you have somebody advocating on you or on your behalf on the inside of that organization saying, hey, I know Mike, he's a great guy. I've talked to him. I believe in his skill sets. Here's where he excels at. That can go further than just you going to xyz.com and applying for that open manager role, because they're going to be like, all right, like I said, you and 3,000 other people want that same role.
And
that doesn't work.
If you're one of those people who thinks if you apply to enough jobs that something's going to work out for you,
yeah,
applying online, filling out applications, submitting your resume, you have a 4% chance of getting an interview. Think about that. If I send out 1,000 applications just online by no connection, no referrals, no anything, I'd be lucky if I got 4 people to respond out of that 1,000. Think how much time and effort it takes to write those resumes, to get them tailored, to just do the research on what positions are open. But you're throwing it into this huge black hole that people get frustrated. Like, I submitted 1,000 resumes, but no one responded because you didn't get past the applicant tracking system, because people were recommended and referred, and in-house promotions. And I'll tell you, I've been in the hiring process. If it's someone I know and I can speak to, or someone that I'm comfortable with recommends, they're going to go to the top of the list. To be honest, I had an interview this morning for a potential position, and the reason I jumped to the top of the list and got the interview was because the person who had the position got hired for a new one, gave me his recommendation, and he told the bosses, this is the free candidate, you gotta give him a look. Otherwise, I just would put another name with a resume in that whole loop. So that's what it is. You have to get someone who's going to build trust and believe in you enough to put their name on your application. And that's where it comes really personal.
Absolutely.
If I put my name on you, then you represent me. So it's not one of those ones where everybody's just going to say, yeah, sure, no problem, I'll recommend you. That relationship is very important to get those, get confidence from people who's not concerned with saying, I endorse them. You don't want that. You must want to know and enthusiastically say, yes, this is the right person, and they can definitely get the job done.
Of course. Now, let's change some gears for a second. What is one passion project that you've been able to work on since this whole COVID-19 thing started breaking out?
One of my biggest passions is, I don't believe any veteran should ever be homeless. So, and me personally, I think there's 3 things that are the greatest concerns for the veteran community. First is employment, making sure you transition well. Second is homelessness. You get down in a rut and you can't get out of it, things spiral. And that leads to the third, which is veteran suicide. So my opinion is we can work on one or two, we can greatly reduce number three. So I'm part of the Veterans Village Northeast Florida project, where we're going to build a veteran resource community, 150 acres, tiny homes, about 650 to 850 square feet. Is going to be kind of, we're going to build it so as Jacksonville expands west. They'll include us when we get that 3 to 5 year plan is fully operational. But it's our chance to help get some homeless veterans off the street. We have a hospital that's already signed on to do 2 days of primary care clinic, one day of mental health clinic a week. We have a lot of local businesses, national businesses that have said, yes, we'll sponsor our home. We have medical professionals that are going to come out and talk mental health. We have peer groups that said, yeah, once it's there, we'll come and have peer group meetings there. I've worked with Home Builders Institute. Not only are they going to help us build, but they're going to put a training facility on property. And so transitioning service members, veterans, and their spouses can actually go through this program, which is completely free. And they'll talk about HVAC, electrical, framers, act with one general contractor through this. So it's getting them a place to live, getting them right with their mental health and their health in general, and then retraining them so they can actually go out and re-enter the workforce and have a trade, have that skill set that they can rely on. And at the same time, hoping for all the military veterans communities, especially here in Jacksonville, 1 out of every 4 citizens in the city county is veteran related. That's how big our population is. So that's a project of love. We served, we put our life on the line, we signed that contract and said that, we'll give it all up for America. Well,
that's awesome. That's incredible.
They've earned enough respect to not be, out in the woods, living on pavement. It's time that we make sure that we help fulfill the promise to take care of those who have put their lives on the line for us.
Absolutely. That's amazing. And I hope other communities will take advantage of this kind of situation and maybe build something very similar to this. Now, as I know a lot of leaders will be watching this, and they'll be from different industries from all over the world. And, what would you tell them as a veteran? What would make them a more effective leader during this time period?
It's one of those, as you have people working from home, working remotely, that, you might not have offered before. I think you're going to see more of that continue to grow, and not to be concerned or honestly don't be worried about employees not doing the job. Employees are going to do their job. They're going to do it well. It's making sure that there is direction, what needs to be done, what has to be done, but also they're probably going to give you more time working from home because they don't have to make a commute. We still get up at the same time. We still get ready. We might have to have an appointment here and there, but employees right now, they are ecstatic that they didn't get laid off, they didn't get fired. They're still working during these uncertain times. They're there to produce. I'll tell you, this is where I can't endorse veterans enough. We show up on time. We do the job. We don't want to just check a box. We want to get it done because, we're always looking for that raise, that promotion, that how can we better? And so we've been trying to focus on the mission and get it done. So these are great opportunities to tap into the military and veteran talent pool and get someone who maybe they're not the very person on paper. Maybe they need a few months of training to really get a feel for what you're needing from them. But once they're trained, once they're on the job and working, you're not going to find better employees.
Well said. And I want to mention this program because I know this is one of your big pet projects as well as DoD Skill Bridge. And many employers that will be watching this may never heard of this program. And I want this to be front and center for the for the corporate community. What is that, and how can they take advantage of it?
DoD Skill Bridge is the government finally realizing that we're not doing enough for those service members who are about to transition out of service back into public life. So they've got partnerships where you have Syracuse universities, they do Onward Opportunity, which allows the service member to get a certification and for free. That could be project management, it could be resources, it could be IT, and there's quite a few other ones. So those are things that they can do. It's online training, but it's something they can do and still get ahead of the curve. We have the internship. So a lot of people, love the internship. There's different companies out there, organizations, our military, and it's about partnering with companies to be able to get service members and their spouses to go on unpaid internships during the last 4 to 6 months on active duty. So they're still getting full military pay and benefits, but they can get that 4 to 6 months of civilian experience. And if all goes well, potentially a job offer with the company to stick around. But if not with that company, they've got some skills and, hey, we don't have a position open for you, but I know Sally or Bob or Bill or, at these other, similar organizations, and they have openings. So it's getting that out there. Again, depending on where you're at, you've got troops to truckers, there's a welding program, there's the oil riggers, you name it, it's there. And right now, as we realized during this whole coronavirus, transportation has become a huge industry. Those trucks, if it wasn't those trucks running and really running about 20 hours a day, we wouldn't have anything on our shelves whatsoever. So we, again, that troops to trucker is a great one. And I'll tell people, right now over this crisis, look to see what industries are thriving. I'm not telling anybody to go out and work for the paper towel or toilet paper, industry, but they're doing quite well. So it's just take advantage of those things and look at a different perspective.
Absolutely. Now, Bruce, for those that want to connect with you, have that conversation about DoD Skill Bridge or Onward to Opportunity or about the other programs that they as corporate members could take advantage of to get veterans in their organization or even just to get some information about it, how would they connect with you?
I guess what connect with me is through LinkedIn. It's Bruce Thompson, MBA, Mike Bravo Alpha. If you type that in, you're going to find my profile. I might be clean shaven with it. I might be in a suit. But I'm working from home, so we're going to be more relaxed today.
I totally understand that. And that's the joys now of being in a remote position is that you can be more of who you are. And that's also kind of what we're talking about is how do you be more of yourself when you're working from home? And, I want to wrap this up is what inspiring message would you give to those that are watching this, if they're dealing with the lockdown or if they're dealing with, being quarantined or they're dealing with a family member that's sick? What kind of message would you like to give to them to wrap this up today?
Well, first, it's going to run its course. I don't know when it's going to run its course, but we will get back to a lot of the things that we were doing beforehand. Obviously, this is going to change some perspectives, but America's going to come back to work. America is going to go back in there. We're probably going to start doing more manufacturing here at home. The stock market's going to come back. Don't panic. don't panic, sell your stocks, don't panic and run through your savings, and take advantage of the opportunity to do something new, to do something different. Pick a passion. How can you do something with that passion and work a great cause? Maybe it's teaching children, maybe it's clean water, whatever it happens to be that you love to do. Go out there and figure out a way that you can make that part of your everyday life. Because right now, most of us have a lot of time on our hands. I feel bad for all you little ones. You're probably not having any time on your hands still, but it's an opportunity to take that step back where we are in our social distancing, our self-isolation times, and what can I do that will make me better tomorrow? And just keep thinking about that, and who knows what the next developments are going to be as everybody is at home working on how to be better, whether that's better for themselves, better for the community, better for the world. It's this opportunity to get time that we never get, and just don't waste it.
Absolutely. Bruce, I really appreciate your time, man, and it was a pleasure speaking with you. I know we're going to probably have some more conversations on our own, but, I hope our viewers today reach out to you and have that conversation, at least start that conversation piece of, hey, we want to engage our veteran community. How can we do that better? So I really appreciate your time. I look forward to, again, more conversations with you and, of course, more conversations with our partners that are out there. Again, if you need to reach out to Bruce, it's Bruce Thompson, MBA on LinkedIn. And, of course, you can find me, Bryan Shue, on LinkedIn as well. So, Bruce, pleasure again. I'm excited about everything that's going on in our community, both the veteran and the world in general, because there is so much growth and opportunity out there. We just maybe need to go find it, and that's where we can utilize LinkedIn and Zoom messaging or Zoom chats to do that. So, and I think there's a lot of good things that will end up coming out of this kind of situation we're in right now. So, I hope you have a great day today. Happy Friday. Don't have too much fun the rest of the day, but we'll chat again soon, brother.
I appreciate it.
All right. Have a great one, Bruce.
You too.
Bye-bye.